Alrighty, let's begin. Let me make sure my stream is working okay. It looks like I got an excellent connection. That's what I like to see. We will be starting in about, let's see, a little less than a minute. So let's get started, get warmed up, get ready. Get ready for some great stuff. I hope. God, I hope this stream goes well, because it's been a while since my last stream. You never know, you never know. All you can do is just hope for the best. Hope for the best and expect the worst. Because I always do expect the worst. Believe me, I always expect the worst. Greetings to all you folks here early. A minute early, but still, you're early and I appreciate it. And some of you were a lot earlier than a minute, so I appreciate you guys a lot more. Let's get ready to begin. All right, 3, 2, 1. Intro time, baby. Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and welcome to my Dr. Wolfula After Dark live stream, where I chat about horror news, get into some channel news, and then cap things off with a long Q&A that's live for all you folks to join in and interact with me directly. But before I get to the Q&A and the channel news, we gotta start with the horror news. Horror news time! Yes, horror news. I love the horror news. All right, so first things first, the main event, the man of the hour is Leatherface. The newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is coming out on February 18th on Netflix. It was originally supposed to come out in theaters, but it didn't test very well. And, you know, it just had a lot of bad word of mouth early on, so I guess they were just, like, cutting their losses. We'll release it on Netflix, which is always the kiss of death for any movie. I feel like Netflix movies often get forgotten. There's some, like, gems, some award-winning Netflix movies, like The Irishman, but most often, they're kind of just, you know, just the slop that Hollywood just doesn't even want to bother putting into a theater, advertising heavily, the stuff that you'll only see advertisements for online, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre seems to be one of them so far. They've been, like, avoiding advertising this movie for a while. We finally got a poster, this poster right here, and even that is just like, we kind of don't want to necessarily show you Leatherface directly. I mean, hopefully you'll like the little glimpse you get, you know, covered with sunflowers. It honestly comes off like a boomer profile pic online, where it's like, you know, they take a selfie, but it's like they don't know how to frame it properly, so like they're out of focus, and there's like stuff in the foreground, and there's like a lot of headroom. It comes off as that with the poster. It kind of looks sort of aesthetic. It kind of looks pretty, but it's an odd choice to kind of like unveil Leatherface to have this sort of J.J. Abrams lens flare. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of the poster, but it does kind of catch your eye just because of how it tries to like hide Leatherface, so you're like discerning it more. But it doesn't really look like Leatherface just based on this brief glance. It doesn't look like, you know, the usual kinds of faces Leatherface uses for his masks. It looks a lot like the clown from Dead by Daylight, or like Peter Boyle from Young Frankenstein if he was like left out in the sun too long, like he's melted. Like, you know, it's not the best looking Leatherface based on this so far, but you know, it can always, there's always a chance that there's some better masks in the movie. There seems to be at least 2 masks in the film, but enough talking about this fucking poster. Let's get to the fucking actual trailer. Let's watch the trailer together, yes. And I will be, like, you know, pausing it every now and then to, you know, break it down, essentially. All right, and I will be also addressing your super chats later. Hopefully I can catch up on these, because I appreciate all your super chats, but I gotta focus on the main event. But I'll try to hopefully catch some of these later. I think they're not like, damn it, I don't think they're not like, let me see, maybe if I do that, I'll figure it out later. I'll get to your super chat soon, though. Okay, so it begins with what I assume is a kind of, I think this is the cold opening of the film, possibly. Then again, it seems like Leatherface is already active killing, so it might be in the middle of the film when he's already established himself. Though it would be kind of, neat if it had a cold opening where Leatherface is already killing people for who knows what reason, and we get a little bit of a glimpse of Leatherface right here. Now, honestly, if I was given this kind of trailer out of context, I probably wouldn't assume that was Leatherface or this was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I do appreciate, though, that they seem to have brought back the sunflowers that were in the original film. There was a sunflower field outside the Sawyer residence, and I thought it always looked really cool and scenic. It made it look kind of sort of misleading that such a beautiful location would be hiding these killers. So it's nice to see this sort of, locale brought back. It seems like it's possibly taking place near or around the same location of the original film, even though the film was actually shot in Bulgaria. But this doesn't really look like Leatherface on a glance. I would probably assume this is some kind of maybe more artsy A24 film or something. Not necessarily Leatherface. Look at that Netflix logo. I hate the current Netflix logo. Just an N, and you go in it. Okay, I think I gotta reframe this. Yeah, there we go. But then it gets all pixelated. Oh, well, it was kind of weirdly compressed anyway. God, I hate how pixelated Netflix trailers are. They release them so compressed. But here's the main characters. We're dealing with one of the characters. I kind of thought, let me go back. I kind of honestly thought, at a glance, that this was the older sister, because I don't know, the actual older sister in the film looks younger to me with that haircut. I don't know why. Kind of looks like maybe from Arrested Development, that actress. I don't know, but gotta keep moving forward. Essentially, though, it seems like it's these sort of trendy San Francisco teens that for whatever reason, decide to, I guess they might be having some kind of fire festival in this isolated town in Texas for some reason. I'm not sure. They seem to be having some kind of event, or maybe they plan to renovate the town. It's apparently completely empty. They have a bus too, and I don't really like that because they have a bus filled with teens. I don't like it when they put so many victims in a film, because it makes all the kills less special, because it just feels like they're just going to end up getting killed one after another, and they're not going to have a lot of thought put into their kills. Now, I'm not sure if this is the actual Sawyer household, but it looks kind of similar, but the surrounding area is totally different. So it might be the Sawyer household. It might not be. I'm not sure. It looks like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre based on this brief glimpse, at least, but I'm not sure about the house so far. It might be the Sawyer household, though it wouldn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense why the teens decide to trespass on this property in particular. I don't think they're out of gas, so it feels like they're just breaking into this old lady's house just for fun. Just and they're told to please leave, but she's just but they're just yeah, we're going to still hang out and just kind of skulk around your house and go through your belongings. The trailer is really weird because I feel like it's not really giving us a lot of context. So you're just lost about what the movie is even about. Ugh. You barely get the idea that it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie based on these brief glimpses. Leatherface, yeah, it just doesn't quite look like Leatherface so far. But it looks like... Okay, let me frame that better. I got a really awkward framing of my footage there. Let me get that. But we're going to have a hammer kill. And I don't think the series has done a lot of hammer kills since the original film. I can't recall a single other hammer kill besides the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. So it's nice to see, them at least not doing chainsaw kills exclusively. At least there's that. So we get the chainsaw, and it does seem to be the original chainsaw. Of course, not the actual one, but, we at least get a yellow chainsaw. It seems like at least that is accurate to the original movie, even though it doesn't really look like Leatherface. Now, this is also misleading, because Fede Alvarez he came up with the story of the film, but he didn't write the screenplay, so it's always that misleading bullshit, where it's from the minds that brought you these movies, when it's really just you know, they came up with like probably like just a vague premise and gave it to somebody else. Like, now this, if I move my head right here, this looks just like the opening of Halloween H2O. That looks like, that Leatherface sketch looks just like the Michael Myers sketch from the opening of Halloween H2O. It's wild, like, and I don't really like how the clippings look like they're totally brand new. They look like they're just probably weeks old when they're actually 50-year-old newspaper clippings. It's like, production design of this movie so far is not looking good. It does not look like it has that lived-in, you know, old retro vintage, like the world is like really shitty look. Like, it just looks so clean and it just doesn't have the aesthetic so far. Now, this is a big deal, and an issue I have with the film right away is that they bring back Sally, who is played by an actress that is from that Nicolas Cage movie, Mandy. She looks like Marilyn Burns. Like, she looks like she could be like an older Marilyn Burns from the original movie. Of course, Marilyn Burns is dead. But it just feels weird to just bring this character back with just a different actress. It doesn't really have the same feeling. And it's obviously going to be just like a forced knockoff of Laurie Strode in Halloween 2018. I think it was probably something they thought was a cool idea, and they just didn't realize going into it that, oh, wait, the original actress is dead, so it's not going to have the same feeling. Like, I don't know what they were thinking doing this. Like, it's a little disappointing. Just seeing them go in this direction. I don't want to see a character return and it's not played by the same actor. Like, just passing it off like it is. Like, it just feels really cheap and phony. Like, And this is also misleading because they're saying the minds of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie have brought this film, but in reality, Tobe Hooper is dead. So they're talking about Kim Henkel, who is a producer on this film, who gave us Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. So, not really a great mind to have from the original movie, necessarily. Oh, man. Okay, we have like honestly, I would have liked it if this was like the actual photo that the hitchhiker took of them. Of course, it couldn't be because the hitchhiker destroyed the photo, but still, like, I feel like it's a little weird because it's just like, when was Sally taking this photo, though? Like, this was that day. Like, okay, but whatever. It's just one of those weird things that's forced to try to create a connection that isn't really there. And it's sort of, like, this film, just from a glance, just doesn't seem to have, like, any real, like, visual connection to the original movie. Like, it just feels like it would be jarring to go from the original movie to then this. Like, it doesn't have that documentary feel. It feels much more like a typical Hollywood horror movie. So, I don't know. Yeah, of course, she's fucking Laurie Strode 2018. It's hard to look at this and not think they are just trying to do that. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Now, I guess it's hard to really get, like, I really wish they gave you more context in these trailers, like, just to get an idea. But here's our only really great shot of Leatherface, at least one of his masks in the film. It's really jacked up. And it doesn't really look like he'd be, like, in his 70s. Like, his hair is, he's losing his hair clearly, but he just looks like a zombie. He doesn't really look like a guy who's an old man that's, like, wearing a face mask. I guess the hair could be built into that weathered face that he's wearing, but I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't quite look like any of the Leatherfaces before, and it doesn't have that kind of realistic, like, face texture that the original movie had. But another thing I need to point out is that Sally calls him Leatherface, and usually they don't really call Leatherface in any of the movies. They usually just call him by his name or a nickname, like Thomas or Junior or Bubba or Jed. So this is like a rare sequel that actually just deliberately just calls him Leatherface. I guess also John Larroquette also calls him Leatherface at the end of the remake. Oh, then again, I think he calls him Thomas Hewitt. It's been a while since I've seen the remake, but it's a little weird. It kind of just breaks the sense of reality where, like, they're calling him by his, like, merchandise name. The original movie, they do call him Leatherface twice. The Hitchhiker calls him that, but I don't know. It just always feels weird to hear him called Leatherface in an actual film. I don't know. It's just odd. So he gets pissed off by these kids because they fuck with his old lady that he's living with, but it's not really like Leatherface or Sally to get revenge. Like, the end of the original movie, it felt like she was just happy to get out of there. Like, I don't think she'd, like, be like Laurie Strode. Because with Laurie Strode, it seemed like Laurie was, like, an actual just total grief. But, like, at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Sally was just like, I'm just, like, happy to get the fuck out of there, and I'm never gonna go back. I'm so fucking thrilled. You don't really get the sense that I'm gonna go back there and kick some ass. So we do get an idea that maybe Leatherface gets multiple masks. He harvests a mask back there.
I'm not gonna let him kill you.
Oh, God. I just can't buy Sally going. Like, it just breaks reality. Like, ugh, man. That was the kind of the thing, though, about Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was great, is that it just felt realistic. But that's something that gets lost in the sequels and subsequent films. And this is just the worst part of all of them. Of all the moments in the trailer. You get this scene with all these Zoomers pulling out their phones like this in front of this masked man with a chainsaw, just breaking any sense of reality just to have a social satire element. Like, just to make the cringiest joke ever, where the guy says, if you try something, you're gonna get canceled. That's just so fucking shitty. He's like, oh no, like Leatherface is actually gonna be like, oh no, my social media following is gonna suffer because I killed these teens. Like, what are you doing? Oh, it's so stupid. At least he kills them, but it's just like such a phony moment. Like, it's just so insultingly bad. Dear Lord. But yeah, this is coming out in 2022, not 2018. I always get confused by dates because I'm a fucking idiot. February 18th, 2022. My bad. Yep. And it's R-rated for strong, what does it say? Strong, bloody horror violence and gore and language. So there's not going to be any titties in this movie, unfortunately. So if you're hoping there's going to at least be that, nope. Okay. All right, enough of talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. It doesn't look great so far. I'm going to leave my final judgments for later, but it's one of those things where if you're given like a really bad trailer that makes a movie look bad, you got to comment on it because, you know, like even trailers, they need to be good. Like people cutting together trailers, they need to make sure that the trailers are good. So, you know, it's good to give feedback even about a trailer. And this trailer just doesn't give like a lot of context, and it just also just doesn't present its ideas as if, you know, like I'm hoping like it's going to actually turn out fresh, how Sally turns out. Like it isn't just going to be a Laurie Strode knockoff, but it doesn't seem like that. It just doesn't quite have that sense of reality that Tobe Hooper created with the original, and the production design doesn't seem very good so far. It just seems really like it's going to be really forgettable. Like it's going to come out and people are just not going to even be thinking about it. And that might be for the best for Legendary, because they'll probably try to reboot this again because they bought the rights. And they're probably going to want to turn this into some kind of lucrative franchise again. Hopefully they get it right this time. Like I'm hoping at least. But if they don't get it right this time, hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes. Don't shoot in fucking Bulgaria, for one thing. Shoot in Texas, for God's sake. It's not that hard. Try to spend some money. Don't just go for like places that give you tax incentives. All right, now let me get to my channel announcements now that the trailer talk is out of the way. All right, channel announcements. I have finished my review of Hatchet 3. It will be coming out sometime next month in February. I don't know when. I'm also working on my Do Talk to Me videos. I've completed half of the next 4. I've recorded them and written them, though, so those are going to be coming back. So if you missed the Scooby-Doo videos, they'll be coming back. Crypt Tuesday will be coming back. I'll be making a Victor Crowley review next once the Scooby-Doo vids are completely out of the way. And also, there's going to be a new Gulag soon. Basically, I'm stockpiling my videos before releasing them this year, so there'll be a more steady schedule, and I'll essentially make a bunch of videos at once, just off to the side without worrying about, like, uploading them, and just strategically releasing them when they'll be most likely to be watched, essentially. So I'm going to be trying a different strategy, but you'll be able to see all these videos soon, so trust me on that. All right, now that I'm done with channel announcements, let's go to the questions, the Q&A time, yes. Everybody's favorite part of this, and I gotta really catch up with all these I got so many fucking questions I need to catch up on, so many super chat questions. I don't even know if I can find them, though, because I feel like they're so buried, and I feel bad about that. Oh, okay. I can't even, oh, dear Lord, why can't I? Oh, shit. Okay, now I can. Oh, wait, yeah, for some reason, my streaming software isn't even letting me, it's not letting me scroll through my... Okay, I think I can find them on YouTube itself, though. Oh, shit, I got so many fucking... Oh, man, it's like catching up right now, damn. Okay, feel free to ask me any question while I try to catch up on some of these super chats. All right. Okay, so... Oh, man, I missed some super chats, unfortunately. Damn it. But KDB says greetings. Greetings to you, KDB. Ryan McClellan says, good to see you back, Doc. Miss you. Missed you too, Ryan. Good to have you here. Let's see. Tim Young says he's using a Poulon 396A, but no tape over the logo. Oh, yeah. Tim Young has a super chat pointing out that the chainsaw used in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is accurate to the original chainsaw. It just doesn't have the tape anymore. Probably because, they probably made the chainsaw for this new film from scratch based on just basically making it a replica of the original chainsaw. So they didn't even have to have the logo built in. So they didn't even need the duct tape. So at least there's that. That's good news that the chainsaw is accurate to the original movie, at least from a glance. Let's see. Okay, another super chat from Mike Productions. It's just a mess. That you'll be canceled line sucked. Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Thank you for the super chat. It's worse than do your thing, cuz. It's worse than that, and that's saying something. Allison Wright has a super chat. Thanks for giving us all a place to collectively process our dread over this trailer. The last time he used a sledgehammer in non-remake timeline was on Blue Balls, You Give Cancer Berry. I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like I don't watch the sequels to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that often, so I don't remember that. The King of the Fat has a super chat. Did you get the commission art I sent you? I think I did, and I appreciate it. Though I feel like I get a lot of commission art, unfortunately, so I think there might need to be more specific, but thank you. All right, now let's find a non-super chat question that... Okay, well, Gordon's Alive says, it's worse than Do Your Thing, cuz? Yes, it is, I think. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's some... If that's what they're going to show in the trailer, maybe there's some worse lines that we're not even seeing. Like, some lines in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie they don't even want you to see. They're just like, yeah, it's best if we just leave some of this stuff out. Samuel White says, do you think this will be better or worse than 3D? So I think, I don't know, based on the trailer, I can't really say. I feel like this trailer maybe comes off slightly better than Texas Chainsaw 3D did when it was first coming out. So at least maybe there's that, but that might just be because there's less context in this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies trailer, so... It's really hard to say. Hopefully it will be better. Hopefully, I'm hoping to be proven wrong. Because I want to make something clear. I'm not a hater of the latest horror movies that come out. I loved Halloween Kills, and I loved Halloween 2018 too, and I really liked the recent Scream movie. So, it's just this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, from a glance, just... doesn't quite look good, and we've just been hearing so many bad things about it, in the build-up, too. Ryan McClellan says, please tell me you'll bring back the die-in theater. I miss the die-in. Well, that will be coming back soon, but if you want to get, just a little taste of it, weekly on my Patreon, I have private die-in theaters of just, whatever horror movies I want to stream. So, and I believe Ryan is already a Patreon member. I've brought back the aesthetic for my Patreon streams, but I will be planning to bring back the die-in theater here on YouTube soon, once I've gone underway with my current scheduling of videos this year. because, I've been stockpiling, and I don't want to have, like, a ton of streams while I'm technically on hiatus, because I think it looks bad. Like, it looks like, oh, this guy's turned into just a streamer, exclusive YouTuber. Like, I always try to make sure I'm striking a balance. Like, I don't like to... I try to make sure I don't have too many streams. Even though I would like to stream more, I try to make sure I have a good rhythm of videos before I get back into streaming. But don't worry, if you miss the die-in theaters here on YouTube, they will be coming back. Courage910 says, pizza or tacos? Well, I'm gonna definitely go with pizza. Not really a tacos fan. I don't know. I feel like they just kind of make me nauseous, but I do love a pizza. I do enjoy pizza quite a bit. All right. There isn't really a great, like, punchline to that. I just like pizza more. You can kind of make a pizza into a taco if you fold it, though. So I guess maybe it's the best of both worlds, I suppose. All right. Let's see. Let me find a good... Because I want to move on from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I feel like I talked about it for like 20 minutes in the build-up. I should move on to some other topics. All right. Joshua Sparks says, Doc, you looking forward to Halloween Ends? I sure am, and I'm glad you asked me about that because I recently watched the commentary track for Halloween Kills, which is kind of funny because it has, like, it has Judy Greer and Jamie Lee Curtis, and they don't watch horror movies, so they're just, like, scared throughout the commentary, but also has the director, David Gordon Green, and he goes into, like, some alluding into what'll happen in Halloween Ends a little bit in the commentary, just, like, there's, like, I don't know if you remember in Halloween Kills, there's like a radio tower that you see in the background of a couple shots. Apparently that's going to be like a notable location in Halloween Ends. It might be like where the climax happens, or I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but I thought it was kind of interesting that they kind of just put that radio tower in. Apparently it was just like with special effect, like visual effects too. Like, so I guess in post-production, they were already thinking, okay, we're going to have a radio tower in Halloween Ends, I guess. So let's kind of put that in the background of a couple of shots and, just sort of set that up for the next movie, essentially. But I did hear that they are starting to shoot Halloween Ends, though. So that's good news, because I wasn't totally sure if they were going to be shooting Halloween Ends this year or not. It seemed like maybe they're going to end up having to delay it and just release it in 2023, because it seems like they are shooting this new movie like really last minute though. Like, I'm assuming it's going to shoot in February and it'll probably end shooting in like March, early March. So they're only going to have like 7 months to do the editing, make the score, and promote it properly. So part of me is thinking it's going to maybe... I'm hoping it's done really well, because I'm kind of afraid it might be rushed, Halloween Ends. I'm kind of afraid of that. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's given the proper amount of time it needs, because, they don't have a lot of time to really make this one. They had a lot of time to kind of put any finishing touches on Halloween Kills, but this finale, it's gonna definitely be touch and go for sure, getting it ready by October this year. All right, let me catch up on my super chats, and then I'll return to the regular questions, the regular folks. Mike Productions has another super chat. So Halloween Ends has begun shooting. Looks like Jamie Lee Curtis has a new hairstyle for Laurie. It's shortened hair and a jacket. Do you think both Laurie and Michael will die in Ends? Well, I think the new haircut for Laurie is definitely just... They're trying to make the characters look different because in this case, it's, I believe, a 4-year or 5-year time jump. That's another key thing about Halloween Ends. Originally, Halloween Ends was going to take place on the same night as Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018. It was going to be a trilogy of films all in one night. But I think since Halloween Kills got delayed, they decided last minute not to do that and do the time jump thing instead, because essentially if you got the recent Blu-ray release of Halloween Kills, it has an extended ending that essentially alludes that Laurie was going to go out that night and take on Michael and finally get her revenge that same night, but they cut that ending down because I guess they realized, no, we're going to have a time jump because this new movie, the Halloween Kills, got delayed so much. We might as well just have a time jump because so much time has passed. It's not going to work so well trying to do the same night thing, which, we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of glad they're kind of moving on chronologically, but then again, they're going to have to do a lot of catching up. I'm kind of hoping Halloween Ends is a little bit longer than Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, but then again, I feel like people's attention spans are kind of get tested with horror movies, like, unfortunately, so you don't see a lot of longer horror movies. I'm hoping they, I don't know, it's probably going to be the last time we see Michael Myers for a while, at least. We're probably going to see him again in a few years in another reboot, but I'm hoping it's at least like, give us a lot of extra time to kind of say farewell for now, at least. Pickup Truck Reviews has a super chat. One of the best and worst things about the Halloween series is a strong and at the same time bad sense of continuity between sequels. Where does the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series rate on that kind of continuity? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre series probably has some of the worst continuity of any horror franchise. Like, Friday the 13th movies, they'll have, like, continuity errors, but they'll generally, like, kind of follow chronologically with each other. They'll just have, like, these errors where it's like, okay, like, Jason goes from having tons of hair in part 2 to having no hair in part 3 and shit like that. Just, like, minor errors, but they kind of follow, chronologically, and they don't necessarily reference each other, like, and of course they'll recast characters too, but Friday the 13th movies, they have flawed continuity, but they still, like, have, like, a timeline that kind of goes forward and is mostly consistent despite some continuity errors that are kind of glaring and obvious. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, none of there's, like, the only movie that is like part 2 was the last attempt to kind of, like, have anything, even resembling, like, a timeline. And then in part 3, Leatherface, like, it's, like, completely ambiguous whether or not it's a reboot. It's probably a reboot because it also references family members and events that don't appear in the previous 2 movies. And of course, Next Generation, it seems like it's a totally different universe. Like, it feels like every film or every 2 films, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series reboots itself. So it's not quite a solid continuity, unfortunately. It rates really low because it's just there just isn't, like, even an attempt to, like, connect the films at all. Like, they'll make 2 movies and then they'll decide, let's just reboot it again, like, because I think the series changes hands a lot. Like, people, like, the rights get sold a lot. Now, I'm gonna answer a regular question from the folks who can't super chat, and then I'll catch up on my super chats. All right, let's see. Well, Jeremy Budrum says, "Do you like the movie Creep?" I do, and there is a review of it by Goulash from I think like 4 or 5 years ago that you could check out. So there is a review of Creep here, though that's not going to count as one of the questions I answer here. Okay, Devil Ghostface says, Doc, you used to review video games. Any chance you'll review the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game and or the Evil Dead game? Well, that's something I'm planning to try to start doing again this year. I'm definitely gonna have content centered around the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game and the Evil Dead game, and I'm gonna try to review them as well. Problem is, I just don't play a lot of horror games unless like, you know, it's a horror franchise based game. I'll definitely go into that. I mostly just am a fan of horror literature and horror movies. I don't play a lot of horror games, admittedly, but I want to make that change this year. I want to do more game streams here on YouTube and on my dormant Twitch channel. So I will be taking it up a notch on streams while also having a steady stream of regular videos and reviews just after I'm done stockpiling my current catalog of videos I'm working on. I'll try to get more horror game content. But yeah, I definitely do intend to review the Evil Dead game, which comes out, I think, in May. I believe it comes out in May. I'm hoping it has some kind of story content, because I feel like I'm not going to be the most effective at reviewing it as a multiplayer online game. I feel like if it has some kind of story tying everything together, it'll be a little easier for me to tackle as a review. We'll see. If it doesn't really have any substantial story, I might just limit it to doing a whole bunch of streams with fans, because I'm going to stream it no matter what. But if it has a decent campaign, I'll definitely try to review it. I do want to review more, I want to review the past Evil Dead games as well, especially Regeneration. So I want to have more video game reviews on the channel, mixed in with my movie reviews. I do also want to finally tackle the rest of the Evil Dead film series leading up to the new game, because I've been binging through the Evil Dead franchise again. I'm in Season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I've been having a ball with it, so I definitely want to cover that franchise again pretty soon in the future, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have some more announcements. I don't want to jump the gun, because I usually jump the gun with announcing things, and I think once I have a decent backlog of videos completed, I'll start making some further announcements about what I'm going to be working on. All right, now let me catch up on my super chats. Let's see. Well, Injustice James has a simple super chat, but I appreciate it. Go Wolfulito. Wolfulito? I think you mean Wolfulite. Then again, I guess Wolfulito. Wolfulito kind of sounds like a nice ethnic variant. Okay. Eric Draven has a super chat. Hey Doc, just joined and missed your thoughts on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. What do you think? I feel it's going to be super cringy. Well, I agree with you. It seems like it's going to be cringy, but I don't want to go too in-depth on my thoughts, because, the whole first 20 minutes of the stream go into it. So if you missed my thoughts at the beginning, don't worry. You can watch the stream later when it's archived, because I go in-depth on my thoughts of the trailer. I feel like it'll be a little redundant to kind of re-explore it, but thank you for the super chat, Eric. AKA The Crow. Let's see, is there another super chat? Okay, well, Maida... Oh, man, their name got cut out, but Maida, I'm not sure what the rest of their name was, but they just gave me a... Let me see if I can find their name. I want to just find their name real quick. Let's see. Oh, man, I'm actually really far behind. Oh, wait, Madam Cactus gave me a super chat sticker. Well, thank you, Madam Cactus. All right, finally found their name. Okay, I got some more super chats, but I'll catch up with them after I answer, a question from the common people, the non-super chatters. All right, let's see. Well, this isn't going to count. Your good friend Sweeney asked, what is your favorite Billy Zane performance? I'm going to have to go with The Phantom, because... Wait, was it the Phantom? Yeah, I believe it was the Phantom. Just because it's always nice to see him in like a purple like one-piece suit. It's just like it's a treat. It's a visual treat seeing like a purple suit like that. He looks good in it. I think it's a tour de force of a Billy Zane film. All right, let's find another question. Donovan Davis asks, thoughts on Hills Have Eyes, 2006. I will be reviewing that in the future, so I'm going to save that for a future video. It's been a while since I've seen the remake, but I remember it being one of the good remakes, though. There's some good horror remakes I like. I also rewatched the Evil Dead remake, and I don't know, I feel like I liked it better the first time I saw it. I feel like it's a little bit more flawed. I guess after watching Ash vs. Evil Dead, but I did really enjoy the Evil Dead remake, which is actually, kind of made by the creators of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, which I guess is part of my disappointment, because the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie looks like it's made by totally different people. It feels like Fede Alvarez barely, had any influence on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. He apparently came up with the story with, one of his collaborators, but it just doesn't seem like it's the same guy. I don't know. Oh well. Now let's catch up on some super chats. All right, let's see. Hopefully I don't... Okay, Madam Cactus has a super chat question. Will you do any horror books, Dean Koontz or classic horror? Book reviews will take longer, but it'd be nice. Well, in the near future, I will finally be covering the second book in the Halloween Young Adult series, so that will happen. But book reviews are harder for me because I want to try to have some visual element, so I did like a pseudo limited animation for my first review of the first young adult Halloween novel. It was a very challenging video, and I feel like it didn't get a lot of attention, which is, I guess, why I've been dragging my heels to make a successor to that video, but I will make it too, just because it was a difficult video, but it was fun to make. It's just when I make, like, a difficult video, I want to make sure I have some stuff ready to go, like, in the meantime, while I'm working on said difficult video. But there will be, there will be more Goosebumps related videos, either here or on the Gulag channel. But as for, like, generalized horror novels, I'll try to, like, cover horror novels. Like, if I review The Shining, which I hope to soon, I will go into, like, the novel itself and give my, thoughts on it, separate from the movie. So in that case, I will. But I don't know if I'll, like, go out of my way to review a lot of horror literature by itself. Otherwise, I'll try to, but it's always a little difficult to try to make a video that's, like, visually interesting with stuff happening, because you don't really have any visuals to work with. You pretty much have to kind of either make them or just make do without any interesting visuals. And, that's never either choice is, comes with some baggage. All right, another super chat from ATM. Would you watch a movie of the story The Tally Po? I can't say I'm familiar with that. I believe that's like a cryptid, but or a kind of legendary monster or creature, but I'm not really familiar with it, unfortunately. I would like to kind of spin off into, like, talking about supernatural stuff and true crime stuff with my insensitive sense of humor. Like, oh my god, it would be kind of fucked up for me to make, like, videos about true crime stuff and making, like, dark jokes. It would be kind of fucked up, but I don't know. I don't know. It might be fun. Might be fun to do. Oh. But I can't say I'm familiar with the Talipo. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, honestly. Like, that's how unfamiliar I am. C. Druid has a super chat. If you could put Flim Flam in a saw trap, what would it be? Well, let me think. I mean, he's like a crafty son of a bitch. So it would have to be a very challenging trap to get out of. And I can't think of off the top of my head what was the most challenging trap to get out of. I guess I could come up with one myself. I guess maybe... Let me think. I don't even try to think about Flim Flam that much. I guess I just want to put him in, like, just the reverse bear trap. That's a little redundant. I guess I'd want to put him into that, but in my case, there wouldn't be any key. It wouldn't be much of a saw trap. It would just be, he dies. He dies in, like, a way that's, like, that pleases me. And I feel like sometimes my lip sync kind of is off, but that's unfortunately a visual glitch, I guess, with my camera, I suppose. Oh, well, it happens. But, I'm just going to say, I can't think of a proper saw trap for Flim Flam, but I will say, I fucking hate Flim Flam. I hate him. I don't even want to see him. I feel like realistically he would get out of a saw trap and he would become a saw disciple. But I don't want that to happen. Fuck him. Fuck that guy. Like, seriously, fuck him. Ugh. Fuck Flim Flam. I'm honestly really upset that he returned in a recent direct-to-video movie. It shouldn't have happened. And it doesn't make sense for Flim Flam to have grown into an adult when apparently, canonically, the Mystery Inc. gang are still teenagers, according to that movie. So they were just like, why are you an adult all of a sudden? He's just like, I got a growth spurt. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know why they made him an adult, too. Like, especially since they say only a year had passed since they last saw Flim Flam. What are you talking about? He was a child. He was a child, and he should never have been able to grow up. He should have gotten stuck in a saw trap and fucking lost his head. That's what I think. Anyway, fuck him and his little yellow hoodie sweatshirt. All right, let me catch up on 2 more super chats, and then I'll address some other questions. Okay, Humongous420 has a super chat. Hey, Doc. In the Big Trouble in Little China commentary, John C. and Kurt R. talked alt ending to The Thing and how bad it sucked. Glad they scrapped it. I'm not actually familiar with that. I haven't listened to the commentary for Big Trouble in Little China, but I did watch their commentary for The Thing, and it was very entertaining, but they didn't mention an alternate ending in that Thing commentary. I wasn't aware that they were going to have a different ending. Because the original ending, the ending that you see in theaters, it's fucking great. I can't even imagine what they would have done otherwise. I guess maybe they would have had a more Hollywood ending, possibly. Maybe they were kind of pressured into almost having a more Hollywood ending, where it's a little bit more. There's no ambiguity, where they've definitely defeated the Thing and rescue has arrived. That's probably what happened. Like, probably helicopters were about to show up. That's probably what happened. Glad they didn't really go with that. Glad it was just, well, it's up to you to decide what happens next. That's always a nice ending. Not always a nice ending, but in that case, definitely the perfect kind of ending for that story and that film. All right. I will be answering a couple more of the the super chat, the not super chat questions, and then I'll catch up on, because I'm getting a lot of super chat questions. I don't want it to just be super chat. All right. Oh wait, Humongous420 says the alt ending of The Thing was that they found them half frozen and they both were the Thing. Okay, that makes sense. I guess that would be definitely a downer ending. Yeah, I definitely because yeah, it kind of loses, because like a happy ending where they get rescued or an ending where they both die, like, it's better to just, like, either case, like, it's better to just leave it up to the imagination, because it could be either ending. It could just be a happy ending. They both lived, or they both died. Either one. In that case, you don't really have to choose. Okay. Ghostface718 says, what do you think about the Chucky show? I haven't seen the Chucky show yet, but I will be seeing it soon, and I will be making a review of the Chucky show. It will be after my Halloween Kills mega review, which I will be working on after my Victor Crowley review, which I'm going to be working on soon. Currently finishing up the Scooby-Doo, the next wave of Scooby-Doo episode review, so once those are done, Victor Crowley, then Halloween Kills, and then the Chucky TV show. But I haven't seen the show yet. I've heard some mixed things. Some people seem to like the Chucky show. Some people seem to be a little bit more lukewarm about the Chucky show. I can't really say. I haven't seen it yet. It seemed like it was gonna be okay based on the trailer I saw. I did see the trailer at least, but have not seen it yet, so I can't really give an assessment, unfortunately. All right, let me see. King Enrays says, Tyra Banks shows up in the new Texas Chainsaw movie. Tyra Banks is in that movie? Seriously? I just realized I've been talking for, how long have I been talking? Let me see. I've been talking for nearly an hour. I haven't sipped a single drink this whole time. My voice is weathered down. I'm gonna take a drink. I'm gonna take a little drink real quick, and then I will continue talking. So let me telepathically drink this Fresca, and I will be right back with you. I'm gonna mute my mic. That's some good Fresca. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely needed that. Damn. Because I gotta keep talking for like 45 to an hour more. Like 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So I gotta definitely make sure my voice is okay. Let me see. Okay, Alex C says, where would you rank the new Scream within the now 5 movies? Now, I would probably rank it, I would actually maybe rank it, part of me wants to say I'd rank it the second best out of the 5 movies. Part of me wants to say that, because I rewatched Scream 2 with my patrons on last Saturday. I'll be streaming Scream 3 with patrons this Saturday, but I rewatched Scream 2, and like, I don't know, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball. I feel like the movie really shot itself in the foot with its plot, because they had to do a lot of heavy rewrites because the movie got leaked So I feel like, I don't know, it's just got a lot of weird shit in it. Like, I don't know about Scream 2. I feel like, though, I need to rewatch the recent Scream, though, because honestly, I liked the recent Scream, but my problem with it is that it has just a really lazy fucking final act. Just a rehash of the first movie and fourth movie again, and I'm so fucking tired of the shit where they like just get out of their Ghostface costumes. They decide to just shed the costumes and just have everybody at gunpoint, give a monologue. I'm so fucking tired of those. I'm so fucking tired of these final acts. Like, I want them to just, because like in the first Scream movie, the final act was groundbreaking. You didn't expect like a slasher movie to have like the killer take off their costume and just have the characters at gunpoint. You don't expect that. But then every sequel just decides to not be groundbreaking. They just decide to just do the same thing instead of, like, subverting your expectations. Because, you know, subverting your expectations can be a bad thing if it's overdone. But to me, I feel like the original Scream was all about, like, being aware of the cliches and then using the cliches to mislead the audience and then just, you know, subverting your expectations. But, you know, they give you, like, all the Scream sequels, they give you, like, the same fucking ending, like, over and over again, the same finale. Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of that structure. Like, they need to finally just come up with a different way to end these Scream movies. Dear Lord. I'm so tired of it. Just move on. Just do a different thing. Okay, but anyway. But otherwise, I did enjoy the recent Scream, though. Just, I'm so sick of the final act monologues. I'm tired of it. They just gotta come up with a different thing already. Like, it'd be more surprising. Well, I guess they kind of have to do the monologue thing, unfortunately, because otherwise, if they kill the killer and they're still in the costume, unmasking them will feel like an episode of Scooby-Doo. So it's just, I guess it's just hard to really figure out what to do. All right, let me catch up on my super chats. Ricardo has a super chat. Thank you, Ricardo. Hoping the leading cast won't be worse than the Next Generation. Loved watching your vids, Doc. He's referring to the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Hopefully the cast isn't as bad as Next Generation. But honestly, you know, Next Generation had fucking Renee Zellweger and fucking Matthew McConaughey, so, you know, I don't know anybody in this new cast. I don't think anybody in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre will end up being, like, a star someday, so I don't get it. I don't get, like, star appeal from anybody in this new film. I guess we'll see, but I don't know. So, honestly, I feel like if they had gotten the original cast from Next Generation and just put them in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, probably would have been improved, maybe. Just kept them the same ages somehow, put them in the new movie, probably would have been better. Would have loved to see Matthew McConaughey in this new movie. 90s Matthew McConaughey as well, not even like today Matthew McConaughey. We'd see fucking 90s Matthew McConaughey again, that'd be crazy. Okay, Root Dr. Thorne has a super chat, which is simply, keep up the good work, Doc. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thorne. I appreciate it. And also make sure to subscribe to Lo-Fi Sci-Fi. Definitely subscribe to them. Okay, Hank the Pimp has a super chat. Hank the Pimp. Okay, his profile pic is Hank Hill when he briefly masqueraded as a pimp. Okay, been a while since I watched you again, Doc. Keep up the good work. P.S. Digging the new turtleneck robe combo. Oh, yeah, I guess, well, yeah, I am wearing a turtleneck now, yeah. I like it, it's comfortable. It's a comfortable ensemble. Like, yeah, I feel like it has, like, a nice, streamlined look. Like, my old costume was really clunky. Now it's, like, much more together, so thank you for that. Ryan McClellan asks, Doc, not Texas Chainsaw Massacre related, but my favorite die-in was Houseboat Horror. I can't find it anymore. What's up? Well, you see, all the die-in theaters that weren't public domain movies have gotten taken down. So that's one of the challenges I need to tackle when I bring back the die-in theater on YouTube. I need to figure out how to stream even public domain movies, because public domain movies have the problem of anybody can upload them and claim them as their own, so that's always a difficult hurdle to jump. But I do have all of my die-in theaters archived, and I will be figuring out some way to make the old ones available again, the non-public domain ones. So keep an eye out for that, because got them all archived. Just need to figure out what to do with them. I think I'm probably gonna host them on my Patreon, but make them free for anybody to access. So I'll probably just do that. I got a lot more freedom on my Patreon. Xavier to God has a super chat. Hey Doc, would you like to see a 13th Jason movie? Well, of course I do. I want to see it done well, though. But I do want to see another Friday the 13th movie. It has been a long time since the previous Friday the 13th movie. It's actually been nearly 13 years now. Like, actually, literally, on the 13th in February, it will have been 13 years since the last Friday the 13th movie came out. Which, you know, is the longest we've gone without a Jason movie. Because, like, I believe the previous record was between Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. I believe it was only 8 years, or actually, no, it was 9 years. But now we've gone 13 years without a Friday the 13th movie, so it's been a while. I'd like to see it return. Apparently, the lawsuit is settled now, so now they just need to go into negotiations over the rights. So the lawsuit is settled now, you know? They just need to figure out how they're gonna, you know, compensate Victor Miller in order to make another Friday the 13th movie. And, you know, I feel like these film companies are probably just dragging their heels, because they're like, because they could have made a Friday the 13th movie, I think. Yeah, they had, I think, a good 8 or 9 or I think even 10 years where they were just totally free to make a new Friday the 13th movie, but they didn't. Like, you know, New Line gave the rights to Paramount briefly to make a new Friday the 13th movie, and Paramount just didn't do anything with those rights, and they went back to New Line, which, you know, is so weird. Like, Paramount was like, yeah, we'll take these rights, and then they just didn't do anything with it. Ugh. God, that really sucked. I was really excited because I was like, oh, Paramount's gonna finally bring back the franchise. But no, they didn't. It was just a really weird, pointless gesture. Oh, God, that sucked. They could have been making Friday the 13th movies for a while. Ugh. So, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I think it's just up to, like, a fan who is a film executive with a lot of money and cachet to negotiate the rights to the franchise if we want to see another Friday the 13th movie, unfortunately. Hopefully someone comes along. Apparently, who's oh my God, I'm blanking on the fucking guy's name. Oh, damn. Okay, well, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys, your imagination, who I was gonna say. But apparently a big-time name in basketball was going to he was the guy from the recent Space Jam, not Michael Jordan, pretty much. He was apparently rumored to be making a Friday the 13th movie, but it didn't happen. Someone will say in the chat who the basketball player was. He's like one of the most famous basketball players, but I'm blanking on his name because I blank on a lot of celebrities' names. Like, I just kind of yeah, LeBron James. Kaiju Comics was first. LeBron James. Yes. I don't even know why I blanked on his name. That's a very memorable name. I don't know why I did. I feel like I don't know. But yeah, he was rumored to be making a Friday the 13th movie, or had an interest in it, but nothing beyond that has materialized, so it could have just been a fake rumor. But, you know, I guess we'll see. Somebody in power will eventually be a Friday the 13th fan that'll be like, let's finally work out how to make another one. Let's finally do that. Let's finally get around to it. All right, time to catch up on my super chats. Let me see. Okay, wait, let me see. Okay, Ricardo has another super chat. Have you seen another Netflix film, Army of the Dead? I have not. I am aware that it's a Zack Snyder film, but I haven't seen it. I might see it soon. But then again, I don't watch a lot of Netflix. A lot of the movies I watch are like on physical media or in a theater. I don't stream very often, actually, unless it's a new thing that has really caught my interest. Like, otherwise, like, I have been watching the Boba Fett show, which has been, like, really bad. Well, it's not been really bad. It's just been, like, really inconsistent, and some of the episodes have been really bad. They had, like, weird moped Power Ranger teens in one episode, and they seem to have just disappeared since then. Like, they appeared, like, for one episode, and then they just disappeared. And, of course, you know, you've had a week. If you haven't seen the recent episode of Boba Fett, you've had a week. The recent episode was just a really cool episode with the Mandalorian. It had no Boba Fett in it, like, and it was just a cool episode. It might be my favorite live-action Star Wars TV episode, I think. So there was that, at least. But the Boba Fett show's been like, they just don't know what to do with Boba Fett, I think. They just don't. They don't have a grasp on his character, which, you know, is a little disappointing. Humongous420 has a super chat. Scary thought. Mario Lopez is Flim Flam. Golden Girls Season 2 Episode 21 Mario has the exact same outfit as Flim Flam. Oh my god. I'll have to look that up. That sounds cursed, though. I guess that would be perfect casting for Flim Flam in a live-action movie. Just get Mario Lopez. I think that would work. Actually, it probably wouldn't work. I don't really know what Flim Flam's ethnicity was. I'm assuming he was, you know, I think, like, from the Himalayas, like, he was, like, from that area, so I'd assume he's Asian, not Hispanic or anything like that, so I'm not sure. Then again, he could just have been, like, you know, he could have just found his way to the Himalayas somehow. I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about Flim Flam. I don't know why I'm talking about Flim Flam's possible race. I think it's just ambiguous. All right. Davey Calendar has a super chat. Maniac Cop, have you seen it? I have seen it, and I plan to review the series soon. I just don't know when. That's always the question mark. Ideally, I will have reviewed every horror franchise by the time I am done making videos. So once I've reviewed every horror film and every mainstream horror franchise, that's when you could start to get a little afraid. I think he might be shutting down the channel. Then again, I did revisit the Halloween series and make updated videos, so who knows? I might be like, actually, let's update some of these other videos, and just like it just goes in a circle. Oh god, just purgatory. Xavier has a super chat. Friday the 13th 2009 remake was actually good. I thought it was okay. I feel like, you know, it was just, you know, I don't know, I just had mixed feelings on it. It did some stuff well, though. It was not one of the worst remakes. I think it's a better attempt at a Friday the 13th remake / reboot than the Nightmare on Elm Street one was. I just felt like, I don't know, there's just, I just felt like they just didn't quite nail the Nightmare on Elm Street one. Just didn't quite have the right feel, and the writing of Freddy just wasn't quite there, I don't think. I don't know. But I haven't seen either of those in a while, though, so, eh. Alright, let me see. Let me find a non-super chat, and then I'll catch up on some more. Okay, Black Moon, in all caps, says, "Hey Doc, do you ever think you're going to finish the Pumpkinhead series?" I have been for years planning to at least review the second Pumpkinhead film, but I honestly want to revisit the first one, because I feel like I was way too harsh on the first one. I feel like I was a total shithead about the first one. I wasn't quite in the right headspace to properly cover it, so I probably want to cover that again. And there's also like an interesting first-person dungeon crawler game that came out in the early 90s that tied into the second Pumpkinhead movie that I would also love to review to tie in with those videos. So there'll be more Pumpkinhead in the future, ideally. And I'll try to, you know, give it the proper respect it deserves. All right, let me see. Dragon on Coke says, "Love your voice too." Well, that's good to hear. I feel like, you know, it's a controversial aspect of my videos, I think. You know, but, you know, thank you. Let me see. Artist SRF says, do you think goths should be the true monster hunters? I don't know what that means. I feel like there should be goth hunters. There should be hunters that specifically hunt down goths. And it like a purge, like a Jedi purge, just like in the night, just jumping all goths and wiping out the goth like human, the human race that's goth, essentially. Just take out all, okay, I think that might sound genocidal. Okay, I don't really believe that. Okay. No, okay, there should not be any goth hunters, but maybe, I feel like maybe goths might be decent monster hunters, but that's a strange question, though. That's a strange question. Let me see. Let's find another question, and then I'll catch up on my super chats. Nicole just says, all right, Doc, gotta go. Good night, and good night, chat. Good night to you, Nicole. All right. Sergio says, how many times has Texas Chainsaw Massacre gotten a direct sequel to the original? They've been rebooting and starting over from scratch every film for 50 years. Yeah, that's what I pointed out in my earlier breakdown. It seems to be like they make one or two sequels and then they reboot it again and they tie back to the original movie, or of course, the remakes, though, they don't do that. They just have like their own thing, like the 2003 remake. It's just a complete start over. But otherwise, they usually just completely just reboot and just connect straight to the first movie and ignore the previous films besides that. It's it gets a little old after a while. All right, let me see. Let me get a little drink of Fresca telepathically, and then I'll catch up on my super chat questions. Actually, I only got one, so only have to catch up on one. That's some good Fresca. I muted my mic. All right. The King of the Fat has a super chat. Like, I sent you this drawing of Michael Myers stalking these busty girls. Oh, wow, I guess I didn't see that. Can you, message me on Instagram? Because I definitely want to see the busty girls. Yeah, definitely. But I don't recall that art. Though I appreciate the sentiment, though. All right, let me find another question. Well, Ballad of the Broken says, are you stoked for Orphan First Kill, X, Black Phone, Scream 6, or Final Destination 6? Now, I did see the trailer for Black Phone, and that does look kind of neat. So I think I might check that out, but I never saw the first Orphan, so I definitely need to see that before I see the prequel film that's coming out soon. And I did see the trailer for X as well. That kind of like movie, that 70s throwback movie where they're making a porno and I guess they get murdered or something. I'm not sure what the plot is necessarily, but yeah, that looks neat. I didn't know they were making Scream 6 or Final Destination 6. I guess it was kind of implied with the recent Scream movies' success, but I didn't know they were already figuring out Scream 6. Yeah, I guess they're probably in the early phases, but I would like to see what they're going to do next with Scream 6. Hopefully they don't rush into it. Hopefully they figure things out. They have like a decent plan of what to do with the franchise for at least the next, couple movies. Because it always sucks when it's just like when the sequels aren't like planned out. When it is just like, well, we're just gonna wing it because this movie was successful. Let's just make another one. All right, Ryan the Wicked has a super chat. Will you ever do a review of the new Suicide Squad like you did the first one? Oh yeah, man, I try not to do like superhero movie stuff that much. I try to just focus on horror now, and I think maybe the original Suicide Squad kind of had sort of a horror dark aesthetic to it, but I don't know. I feel like I could definitely review some of James Gunn's earlier work, and I technically have the Scooby-Doo movies, so I could definitely go back then, but I feel like I probably am not the right fit for any superhero movie reviews, because I am a little bit sick of personally, I'm probably not the best fit just because I am a little bit sick of all the superhero movies coming out. So I guess maybe that kind of factors into my lack of any further superhero movie reviews. I'm probably just not the right audience for it. I am looking forward to the new Batman movie, though, because it does look like a change of pace from the more upbeat, comedic, sillier superhero movies that have been coming out lately. So at least there's that. Blazing Star is a super chat. What's your favorite werewolf movie? Oh, that's easy. American Werewolf in Paris. No, London. I wanted to trick you for a second. London, yes. London is the London American Werewolf movie, the original movie, is my favorite. And it's a shame, though. It's a shame that Max Landis won't get to make his remake of American Werewolf in London. I'm sure he would have crushed it. Much like Max Landis's father crushed those children and that beloved actor during that helicopter crash during the Twilight Zone filming. Okay, I don't know why I decided to fucking segue into that, but besides John Landis's questionable ethics as a filmmaker, though, original American Werewolf in London is like just a fucking, a masterpiece. Like a masterpiece of comedy and horror, just perfect. I also love Blues Brothers. John Landis, he had like a potential, but then he just kind of, then it all just came crashing down, literally. Okay, but anyway, all right. Let's move on from that dark subject matter. I don't know why like anytime I talk about John Landis, I just have to talk about that. It's always a little awkward. Some people died under his watch, Okay, but anyway. Artist SRF asks, do you think Scrappy would have been better if he had a lot more phobias than his uncle and Shaggy? Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Scrappy, he just didn't have enough flaws. That's his main problem. It just felt like he was a total Mary Sue. He was like perfect. He wasn't scared of anything, and he was just like, he was a handsome son of a gun, whereas his Uncle Scooby was a bit of a wreck. Like, he had everything going for him. Like, he was getting the ladies too. Like, Scrappy was just a little too, he just stole the spotlight any scene he had, so he just had to go. Like, just change the dynamic, So, I feel like maybe if he had more character flaws, maybe we would have liked Scrappy a lot more. Then again, some people love Scrappy. Some people make a point to point out that Scrappy allegedly saved the franchise, but because the franchise was apparently in a ratings rut, but then Scrappy came along and people started watching again. But I think that's just that's always going to be the effect of any jumping the shark character, is you're going to get some extra ratings, but people are going to look back on it and be like, wow, that really sucked. They probably should have just worked on the other aspects of the show, just improve those, because Scrappy wasn't the problem with Scooby-Doo. It was just like one of the symptoms. The overarching problem with Scooby-Doo in the 80s or late 70s leading up to Scrappy is just the show just lost the appeal of the original series. Like, it just didn't have that dark aesthetic, and the gags just kind of weren't so great, and the monsters got lamer and less creative, and a little puppy isn't gonna exacerbate those problems, but it's not gonna necessarily help. It's gonna probably help with the ratings just because he's cute, but the problem is just, they just stopped trying as hard. Like, that's the problem. After those first 2 seasons of Where Are You, they did the series where they have hour-long episodes with special guest stars, but the animation looks fucking so bad and the backgrounds suck compared to the original series. Like, they just stopped trying. So, that was the real issue. The show would have been successful with or without Shaggy. It just needed to be a little bit, it just needed more effort put into it back when Ken Spears and Joe Ruby were working on it. That's all. All right, I'm talking way too much about Scrappy-Doo and Flim Flam during this stream. I gotta talk about horror again. I'll be making some more Scooby-Doo reviews. I have a few in the can that I need to release soon. All right, Chris D just says, I just farted. Well, I'm so glad you decided to share that with the class, Chris D. I appreciate it. I definitely needed to know that. Michael Diaz asks, favorite director, Victor Salva or Roman Polanski? I guess well, okay. I guess it's not that hard of a choice. If we completely disregard their personal lives, the crimes they committed, and just look at the movies, of course I'm gonna go with Roman Polanski. Yeah, if we just ignore everything they did besides making movies, I have to go with Roman Polanski. Like, you know, Chinatown, that's a classic. Rosemary's Baby, that's a classic. But they're both terrible people. They're both terrible people, and I hope they burn in hell. Victor Salva especially, though, because, you know, he did some crimes, but also I don't like his movies, so... I still gotta review the Jeepers Creepers sequels, but I also need to review that fucking Disney movie he did called Powder. I gotta do that. Oh, Black Moon asks, what crime did Roman Polanski commit? I probably shouldn't talk about that. Probably shouldn't talk about that. You should probably ask Jack Nicholson, though, what he did. Blazing Star 25 has a super chat. Would you want a mature version of Scooby-Doo, like actual horror scenes and Shaggy smoking pot? I'd be interested in, like, you know, something that's inspired by Scooby-Doo, that's kind of maybe like a parody of Scooby-Doo or a satire on Scooby-Doo, but I don't want to see like an official thing where, you know, Shaggy is smoking a doobie. Like, I don't want to see an official thing, but, you know, if we could see like a high-quality Scooby-Doo parody series on like Adult Swim, I would honestly like to do that myself, for sure. If somebody asked me, can you make like just a fucking Scooby-Doo parody show, I'd be like all over it. Like, I'd like flesh out their interior lives, just go into like, you know, just depressing details about like the trauma they must have, just the scars they must have sustained over the years solving these mysteries, getting into these dangerous situations, almost dying multiple times. Like, you know, that would be fun, but I don't want to see an official thing like that. I don't want to see a canonical Scooby-Doo thing with, like, you know, violence and bloodshed. You know, keep it for like the kids, but you can also get like a little darker. I do want darker official Scooby-Doo things like Zombie Island, where it's not like R-rated shit, but, you know, it's still scary and it's still pretty intense. I would like to see that, but I don't want to see like, you know, an official thing that's like where you see like Shaggy's dick, for example. Like, I don't know why I thought of that, but I don't want to see like anything official that kind of can potentially, you know, ruin the franchise, as, you know, ultimately for kids. Because, like, the thing that's great about Scooby-Doo is that it's a way for kids to get into, you know, horror. It's like a gateway to horror for children, because, you know, the monsters are usually not real, and they usually don't, like, kill people either, so they're not, like, violent, usually. So, you know, it kind of presents horror in a more friendly, safe way, where you can just say at the end, yep, the monster was fake the whole time. And you have these upbeat characters that make jokes and have gags and stuff in these dark, scary situations, and it's fun. You know, you don't want to lose that. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk about Scooby-Doo again, but then I ended up talking about Scooby-Doo anyway. That's just my thing. If you're new to the channel, you'll find that if I'm asked about Scooby-Doo, I'll just talk about it on end for who knows how long, just unnecessarily. Ryan McClellan has a super chat. Doc, just an idea. And I Know What You Did Last Summer remake based on the book. Well, I've been planning to review I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I was going to do what I said I was going to do earlier, where I was going to also read the book and compare the book to the movie, because I know the movie isn't very faithful to the book. The book isn't like such a slasher movie fucking premise. So I would like to, revisit. I would like to review I Know What You Did Last Summer and the book. The problem that has kind of kept me from reviewing the book and movie is that I want to review the original version of the book, because all current versions of the I Know What You Did Last Summer book in print update the material, and they kind of add like modern references and modern technology to the book. And I just want to read the original 1970s version of the book, so I need to track down a copy that's unedited. So I need to find that first, but I would like to, cover the book. But, it would be interesting to see. Well, I do know they recently made a new I Know What You Did Last Summer TV show. I don't know how faithful it is to the book, though. It probably isn't. Though I am interested in tackling the original version of the book and the movie, so yeah. Oh, wait, Marshall says, I got skipped. You did? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I got a super chat from Marshall. Sorry, I'm almost missed you. Sorry, sir. Sometimes that happens. I was talking about Scooby-Doo and I got distracted. Marshall has a super chat. Have you seen the fan-made trailer for the Texas Chainsaw movie? It's from Wolfman Got Nards. Awesome. Was that you? No, I don't think that. I do know Wolfman Got Nards, but I have not seen his fan-made trailer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm not familiar with it, but thanks for pointing that out, though. And I'm sorry I missed your super chat originally. Xavier the God has a super chat. Doc, will you ever review See No Evil with WWE superstar Kane? Also, have you ever seen Drive-Thru? I haven't seen either movies, but I could cover those. I am kind of interested in covering the WWE horror movies that have come out. Like, WWE has attempted to open their own film production company, like, just to kind of, give their WWE wrestlers, screen time in films and try to spin them off into, actual actors. And it hasn't really worked out that well. They've made some really bad movies. They've attempted to make, tie-ins with Scooby-Doo and Flintstones. A lot of questionable stuff just to try to get the WWE superstars in just movies and try to turn them into actual Hollywood actors, to mixed results. They can't all be a Rock or a fucking John Cena, or those are the only two fucking wrestlers I can think of that are famous at the moment that are actual, actors. They can't all be. But Kane, he does seem like he'd be a scary horror villain, so I do want to check out See No Evil, though. I do know they also made a sequel. Alright, let me find another question. Let me see. Megalomaniac says, Hey Doc, have you ever seen Natural Born Killers? My favorite movie of all time. I have, though I don't think a review would be right for this channel. It's not necessarily a horror movie. Though I kind of would like to get back into some other kind of genre stuff. I think Tarantino might work, maybe. Kind of has sort of a... Though it isn't really... Tarantino only wrote the movie, he didn't direct it. But, it could be interesting. Alright, let me see. Devil Ghostface says, Kane should play Leatherface. Actually, that would be interesting. He's kind of an older gentleman at this point. And, the Leatherface in the movie's supposed to be in his 70s. So, he's probably not in his 70s, but... Neither is the current actor of Leatherface anyway, so, that could be interesting. A wrestler playing that actually would probably work out. Actually, I think maybe a wrestler has played Leatherface in the past, though I'm not sure. I think. Not sure, though. Okay, Alistair asks, just tuned into the stream and missed your reaction to the trailer. Can I just get a yes or no if you have faith the movie will be good? Well, if you missed my earlier reaction to the trailer, don't worry. This is going to be archived, so you'll be able to watch it. It's at the start of the stream, so you just have to I guess wait for this stream to be over, and then you'll be able to watch the reaction. But I don't have a lot of faith in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I'm hoping it'll be good, but based on what they've shown and the reluctance to share information in the trailer and on the posters and in the promotional materials, it feels like they're kind of just releasing it on Netflix and hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. And, it never gives you a good feeling. Jessica Dwyer has a super chat. Hey Doc, really think you should check out the 1981 movie Fear No Evil. It's bizarre and amazing. Fantastic flick with the son of Satan. Oh, I gotta check that out. I haven't actually... I don't even think I've heard of it. I gotta find that. There's a lot of, like, more obscure early 80s horror movies I've been wanting to cover on the channel. Then again, that might not be obscure and I just haven't heard of it. Sounds interesting, though. Okay. Xavier DeGod says a wrestler played Michael Myers. Did a wrestler play Michael Myers? Wow, I guess I don't know enough about Halloween then. I wasn't aware of that. Tyler Mane, though? I guess he was he? I don't really know. Any like trivia about the Rob Zombie Halloween movies? I don't quite have it going on, unfortunately. Dirk Jason Hall asked with a super chat, Titane review? I'm actually not sure. I've heard of the movie and I've seen the trailer for it, but I'm not sure how to pronounce the title of the movie. Titane or Titane? Yeah, I'm not sure, but maybe I could cover it. I haven't. A blind spot I have is that I don't cover a lot of the more indie horror movies out there, and I should. I do want to come out with shorter reviews that are more. Like I did recently review Black Friday, not really a big release. So I do need to make more videos like that where I'm just covering, recent horror releases, not super long videos, just checking them out and giving my thoughts, keeping it brief. Definitely got to try to do that more, and I'll try to catch up on all the great horror movies I've been missing out on. I gotta catch up on all this stuff. I always get like derailed and just focus on one movie for the longest time. It's not good. I've been trying to make more time to just broaden my horizons, and I need to do that in the future this year for sure. Let me see. Jessica Dwyer does point out that the Fear No Evil is obscure a bit. Okay, well that explains why I might not have heard of it. Let's see. Okay, so 03 Cobra has a super chat. Are you a fan of the other older, not as unanimously loved Carpenter stuff? I am a huge fan of Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and The Fog. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen, like, I believe Dark Star. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen, like, Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I mostly focused on, like, the Stone Cold classics, like They Live, like fucking The Thing. I love The Thing. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Halloween, of course. The Fog. I love those movies. But there's like a lot of blind spots in my John Carpenter viewing experience that I don't. Also, I fucking love Big Trouble in Little China. Fucking love it. I think they're going to remake it with The Rock and it's going to suck. So, not looking forward to that. But I do love a lot of John Carpenter's films, but, some of them I have not checked out yet. I haven't checked out the rest in the trilogy The Thing is part of. I do need to check those movies out. I plan to get, like, the Scream Factory versions of all those movies, because I think a lot of his movies are on Scream Factory releases. And, using the collectible aspect as also part of an entry point into watching some other movies I have not seen. I did see his... One of his last movies, one of the things that sunk his career was the Village of the Damned remake he did with fucking Christopher Reeve before I think just like a year or two before Christopher Reeve fell off his horse and became paralyzed, unfortunately, and also had Mark Hamill in it as like a priest, I think. Really wacky remake. I gotta review that someday. Like, he's got like some bad movies, like, it's an unfortunate thing. They weren't all classics, John Carpenter-wise. They weren't all classics. Let me see. But I also love Escape from New York. That's a non-horror John Carpenter film that I also love. Don't really love the sequel that much, but then again, maybe I was in the wrong headspace when I first saw the sequel. But I love the original Escape from New York. Fucking amazing action movie. And you can definitely see how it influenced so many, like, fucking imitators, both in video games and in movies. Like, just a cool fucking hero in the form of Snake Plissken. Just so cool. Like, just so awesome. The King of the Fat has a super chat saying, just sent you the drawings on your Instagram. Well, okay, I'm gonna... Should I check out the drawings during a stream? Let me see. Do I have my phone? Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see if I can find the drawings. And I don't think I can share them with folks watching the stream, so let's see. For some reason I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see... Oh, wait, maybe... Yeah, I don't see it on my Instagram. Unless you messaged it to a different account. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna have to give it a second look. See, hopefully it didn't get like filtered out by my Instagram spam filter or something. Okay, Xavier to God has a super chat. I think I heard that Robert Englund would do one more Nightmare on Elm Street / Freddy movie. I don't know. I feel like he's been more... Okay, I'm gonna get another drink of Fresca just to refresh my voice, and then I'll answer this question. Gonna pause my mic. All right, that was some good damn Fresca. Oh shit. Okay, but I feel like Robert Englund has usually been, you know, a little bit more negative about returning as Freddy. I would love to see him return, definitely, at least for one more film, so that would be nice, or maybe even in a televised medium, because I feel like he could easily play Freddy again for a while. I think they could easily fake it. Just get a body double for Robert Englund, and just have Robert Englund play Freddy in, like, close-ups, and just have, like, you know, creative lighting situations, and, you know... makeup situations to make it seem like Robert Englund is still playing Freddie Krueger. Because, you know, if they can, like, make a Dr. Loomis in Halloween Kills that looks, with just makeup, that looks pretty fucking much like Donald Pleasance, I think they could make a Freddie Krueger that looks like Robert Englund and is just Robert Englund with, you know, a mix of voiceovers and close-ups, like, and have it feel like it's just Freddy Krueger again, like the classic Freddy Krueger. I would love to see that, but he seems to be kind of down on it. But then again, I feel like if the right creative talent came along, and of course there was a decent paycheck, he would definitely return to play Freddy Krueger. But that remains to be seen. I would love to see that, though. Ryan McClellan has a super chat. Off to bed, Doc. Gotta take Little Miss Murder Mittens to the vet tomorrow. Wish me luck. Oh, I'm hoping Little Miss Murder Mittens is gonna be feeling okay at the vet. I'm hoping there's not some negative circumstances to the vet visit. Hopefully it's just check up. Give Little Miss Murder Mittens my best. All right, let me find another question. Let's see. Devil Ghostface says CGI Freddy. Now, I don't want CGI Freddy. I think they could easily make it work just with, like, you know, just with makeup and just a mix of close-ups. No CGI, though. If it's CGI, it's not worth it. Let me see. Anthony Lakich says, we already had Cartoon Freddy's once, so why not? Did we have Cartoon Freddy? Are you talking about Jackie Earle Haley? I don't know. Don't want CGI Freddy. No cartoon Freddy. Don't want any of that. Just want like, you know, the best possible way to bring back Robert Englund. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got a couple super chats, but I want to find another non-super chat question to address first. I do want to cover, Ricardo asks, you should cover Dolls. I do want to cover that movie, because it looks fucking creepy as hell. Do want to cover some more fucked up seeming horror movies, some more, because honestly, Dolls fucking creep me out. I was afraid to watch the Child's Play movies for years until I finally watched them. Found out Chucky is just kind of goofy. It's not really all that creepy. He kind of looks creepy in the earlier movies, but he's more goofy than creepy. It's kind of hard to be, like, creeped out by, you know, a doll that has, like, you know, a gruff, deep voice like that, that's like, hey, motherfucker, how you doing? It's, like, hard to be, like, scared of that. It's hard to really take that seriously. But besides that, dolls usually fucking creep the hell out of me, though. Let me see. Monster Guy X asked, Carpenter, Craven, or Cronenberg? Well, I gotta go with Carpenter, just because I love The Thing so much and Halloween. Just those two alone, just, it trumps, Nightmare on Elm Street or Hills Have Eyes. Cronenberg has done some great movies too, though, but I gotta go with Carpenter. All right, let me catch up on my super chats. Doc, you ever see the 80s heavy metal horror Trick or Treat? If you have thoughts, it's a decent, fun film. Admittedly, I have not. I would like to cover that for a future October, though. So keep an eye out for that. But I haven't. I've only seen the more mainstream Trick or Treat. The one with Sam. I am aware of the 80s heavy metal version, though. Well, it's not even a version. I don't know why I said version, because it's nothing like the later film. But I do need to see that movie, because I heard it's really cool. What I've heard of it, I am, really interested in checking it out. And, I only have so many fucking decent Halloween horror movies to cover anyway left. Because, I think for this year's October, it's not going to be anything even Halloween related. It's just going to be a themed series of reviews and reviews that are tied together thematically, but not necessarily Halloween related. I think I'm going to drop the requirement that there be specifically Halloween stuff, because there's only so much stuff left. All right, the King of the Fat says, try my messages. Well, I'll make sure to check out. Well, okay, I'll give it another check. Let me see. I did check my messages, though, and it wasn't there for some reason. Let me see. Okay, maybe it's in general? Yeah, I think, no, it's not. I'm not seeing it in general, and I'm not seeing it in my message requests. That's weird. I'm not seeing it in messages requests, or, yeah. Okay, try messaging me on Twitter or something. Hopefully you have a Twitter. Because I'm not getting it. You could try emailing me, too, drwolfula@gmail.com. I'm not sure why I'm not getting your messages. Yeah, okay. But They Call Me Stamps has a super chat. What's up, Doc? In your opinion, which slasher has the most potential to be scary again? Personally, I think Freddy would be terrifying if they did it right. I gotta agree with you. Gotta go with Freddy. I want to see another Freddy movie. Bring it back to the Wes Craven roots, definitely. Have a little bit of dark humor, but no, gags, no fucking pop culture references or, over-the-top jokes. Even if they, if they don't bring back Robert Englund, hopefully they can find a good version of Freddy, because I think, there's a lot of potential with Freddie Krueger that has been untapped, and also, you gotta give kids the true Freddy horror icon. I hate the fact that when I used to be I could just, anytime I needed to make a Nightmare on Elm Street video and I needed some pics of Freddy, all I needed to do was go on Google Images, type in Freddy, and I got some Freddy Krueger images. But now when you do that, you get the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's Freddy. Come on. It annoys me. I hate the fact that I have to add in that extra fucking name, Krueger, to get the actual Freddy I want. It sucks. So I want to see Freddy come back. Definitely. At least in some form. I think a video game could work, though. I think they could make it work, make it Silent Hill style, or make it like the Scarecrow Arkham Asylum sections. Because, the Scarecrow Arkham Asylum sections were definitely trying to be like Freddy Krueger anyway. I feel like, they can make it work, and Warner Brothers makes video games anyway, so they should, tap into their horror icons. Then again, maybe with Wes Craven's estate, the rights issues kind of complicate that. But yeah, just make a Freddy Krueger game if you can't make a movie or a show anytime soon. I just want to see him come back. All right, Xavier de God has a super chat. Child's Play 1 or 2? Nightmare on Elm Street 1 or Dream Warriors 3? Friday the 13th Final Chapter or Jason Lives? Well, I'm going to have to go with Child's Play 2. I'm going to have to go with Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And I'm going to have to go with, honestly, I'm going to have to go with Jason Lives. So those are going to be my 3 choices out of those six choices for sure. I love Final Chapter, but Jason Lives, I don't know, it's just more fun. And Xavier the God asked, Freddy versus Jason or Predator versus Aliens? I got to go with Freddy versus Jason. It's just, I just like Freddy and Jason more than Predator and Aliens. I wasn't really that interested in, seeing Alien Predator crossover that much. Though I'm glad, the fans got what they wanted, though. At least there's that. Check your Twitter messages. Okay, I'm going to check my Twitter messages now, King of the Fat. All right, let me see. Hopefully it's... I hate the fact that you're like, oh man, it kind of sucks that you have to... Yeah, I don't even see it in my Twitter. You're messaging Dr. Wolfula, right? Because it's not even in my Twitter messages. What the hell's going on? Oh man, you gotta try to email me, but don't give me any more super chats because I'm feeling bad. Like, because I'm not getting any of your messages for some reason. I'm sorry. Okay, Ray asks, Doc, in the current era of crossover films with Marvel, Godzilla vs. Kong, and even early 2000s with Freddy vs. Jason and Alien vs. Predator, do you think there will ever be Michael Myers vs. Jason? I feel like we're kind of past that point. I feel like if they were to do it, it would have been right after Freddy vs. Jason. It would have created, that market, that desire from audiences to see these characters cross over, because they did do Aliens vs. Predator, but they haven't really done anything like that besides Godzilla vs. Kong recently, but that's like a huge tentpole movie, like a giant monster action movie that has, like, I think probably $100 million budget or something, so I feel like, the time has passed for that to happen again, unfortunately, so I don't think it's gonna happen. It might have happened, if they had tried to make like a franchise out of these crossovers after Freddy vs. Jason, because they were planning to do Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, but Bruce Campbell was like, I don't want to bring back Ash Williams that way. We want to make another standalone Ash thing. We don't want to do like a crossover as a continuation. So I feel like, I think, Bruce Campbell was probably the nail in the coffin for further, horror franchise crossovers, I think. I feel like maybe if they had gotten the approval of Bruce Campbell, maybe we would have had, like, even more of these horror crossovers, but it just didn't end up happening that way. Alright, let me see. Let's see. Debbie Vidrine says, hey, this is Bloodflix. Can you mask you face? I'm you biggest fan. Can I unmask? I'm a cartoon character. I can't take off this face of mine. I'm a fucking cartoon character. I don't know what you're asking me here. I'm a different version of Dr. Wolfula. There's live-action Dr. Wolfula and cartoon Dr. Wolfula. Fortunately, you're not talking to live-action Dr. Wolfula, but even if you were, he can't unmask, because he also has a face. So, you just gotta deal with it. I mean, I know his face looks rubbery, but believe me, it is a face. It's just an unfortunate skin condition that just makes it seem like it could be a mask. It sucks. It sucks to have that kind of skin condition. It sucks. But luckily I'm a cartoon character, and I don't have to worry about that. I do have to worry about the fact that I am kind of stuck in place. I can't really move much. I can only move my head. And, sometimes my lip sync is off, but at least my lips move properly. I mean, live-action Dr. Wolfula, he doesn't even get to move his lips all that well. I mean, he's gotten a little bit better at it over the years, but still, a far cry from properly moving your lips. And I can also blink. He can't fucking blink at all. But he can also, like, move around and actually exist in a three-dimensional plane of existence, so he's got that beat. Damn. Oh, well. Let me see. The Steam Lord says, gotta be honest, I do hate that the Texas Chainsaw movie seems too similar to the Halloween reboot in terms of its style and how it treats its characters. Yeah, it just feels like they're not being very original with this new movie, which is disappointing because I feel like Fede Alvarez with his, approach to the Evil Dead remake, it was really well done. I'm disappointed that he just, I feel like he probably might be dropping the ball with this, with the story of this new movie, unfortunately. Xavier DeGod has a super chat. Will you review Silent Hill or Resident Evil movies? I kind of avoided reviewing those movies just because I'm not super familiar with the games they're based on. So if I was to review them, I would definitely want to familiarize myself with the games and actually give them all a playthrough, proper playthrough, just to have like a frame of reference based, just comparing the two. And I would also like to try to review the games as well, so it would be a little bit of a lot to tackle, like games and movies at the same time, but I would like to give it a shot, for sure, but I've avoided reviewing them just because I just don't have a good, proper grasp on the source material. I probably could kind of cheat and just watch like just a gameplay walkthrough of the games just to know what the story is, just to have a frame of reference, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'd rather just be able to just play the games just to properly compare them. Thib Travels has a super chat. I work at Universal at ET. How often are you there? Honestly, I don't. I go there, I haven't gone there a lot since, the pandemic started. I feel like I only went once for Halloween Horror Nights, and I think that was actually it. I think that was actually it for a few years. I haven't been there in a while. I think the last time I went there was 2019? Yeah, it was 2019, late 2019 in November, so it's been a while. I live literally like 10 minutes away from Universal Studios, but I haven't gone there in quite a bit, just because, it's just a little bit more of a pain in the ass to go to a theme park during all the current problems in the world. But I don't really go on the ET ride that often either. Like, that ride's for babies. But, I'm glad a fan it works on the ride, though. At least there's that. But that ride's for babies. It's a baby ride. You go, you sit on a little bicycle and fly over, like, a tiny town, and then you see, like, these little alien puppets that, like, dance and, like, pole dance and shit. Like, it's for babies. Like, dear Lord, you go through, like, a flower field on a planet. Like, come on, it's for babies. They need to update that ride. Make it for big boys like me. Ugh. All right. Let me answer another question, and then I'll get to these super chats I just got. The King of the Fat says, I tweeted the drawing to you under Matt. Oh, God, I really hope I see it this time, because I hate the fact... Why am I not... Oh, God, what is going on? Okay, I'm going to look you up on Twitter. I don't know why it's not appearing in my feed, but I'm going to look you up right now. I'm going to see it. I think okay, let me see. Tweets and replies. Okay, oh, wait, okay, now I see it. There we go. Finally, I saw it. It looks really nice. Did you draw it, or was it commissioned by somebody? Okay, well, let me know on Twitter. I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't even get the notification. Okay, I'm gonna follow you now just to make it easier. Don't super chat me anymore, because I feel bad. You super chatted me a whole bunch. I feel really bad about that. Okay, finally saw it, and it looks really nice, and I appreciate it. And actually, I'm gonna retweet it too. I'll also like it too. Jump the gun. I gotta like and retweet. Devil Ghostface says he sent me nudes. No, he didn't. He just sent me a little saucy fan art of Michael Myers, I guess, with some chicks. Artist SRF says, do you think Universal should bring back Beetlejuice Rockin' Graveyard Review? Honestly, I like Beetlejuice, but that show was really, I don't know, it was really cringy. It had some, like, I don't know, just some, like, really goofy dad humor. Like, it just didn't really feel like Beetlejuice all that much. They repeatedly had to, like, revamp it over the years and try to figure out some way to make it, make it watchable for most tourists, but I feel like they just didn't really figure out how to get the Beetlejuice humor to work well and also figure out what to do with their Universal monsters. Like, I don't know, I just never really enjoyed it. But yeah, I would like to see it come back if they, do it right that time. But yeah, it sucks that a lot of cool attractions at Universal got totally shut down so they could make more room for Harry Potter bullshit. Like, that sucks. Ugh. They got rid of the Jaws ride in Orlando too. Like Jaws is one of their, like, defining movies, and they just got rid of it. Like, Universal doesn't even make the Harry Potter series. Like, it's just like, Dear Lord, come on, feature some of your actual movies. God's sake, dear God. All right, They Call Me Sam says a super chat. I do feel like some of the later Nightmare movies lean more into comedy. If they just lean more into the nightmare aspect of Freddy, then a new Nightmare movie could be absolutely terrifying. I agree. I think they could, I don't know, I feel like they could do some really fucked up shit today. Just the practical effects that are possible today. Like, I think they can do some really crazy fucking shit with the nightmare sequences. And it sucks that we haven't really gotten an idea of what that could be. Like, I feel like they were kind of really simplistic with the nightmare sequences in the recent Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Like, they didn't really push any boundaries visually at all. Hopefully they can. But Dirk Jason Hall says, riff view on Hereditary or Midsommar. I feel like I could do a riff view on Hereditary. I think that would be actually fun. I don't know. I had a lot of really inappropriate, when I watched Hereditary, I had a lot of really inappropriate, like, reactions to the things happening in it. Oh, man. I feel like, honestly, it'd be kind of funny just to, like, literally, like, just take it on face value what happens in the movie. Like, just ignore any of the subtext or commentary or whatever, like, metaphors the film is trying to propose, and just be like, this is just like literally the things that are happening. That's my interpretation of the film. I don't know, I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be fun. I could do that. But Tony Rubino asks, can you review the Jaws movies? I would like to. I'll try to do that to tie in with Shark Week. I'll try to bank a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Jaws videos that's the plan this year, is to basically make all my videos far in advance. So I'll probably, if I do that, I'll probably make the Jaws videos in like April or something and wait until Shark Week comes along to finally release them. But yeah, that's the plan, is to just make all my videos far in advance and figure out the best strategic ways to release them. So, that's the plan. All right. Okay. I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm going to wrap things up, because I've been going on longer than I even intended to. Let's find... I'm starting to lose it. As you could probably tell, I'm starting to lose it. All right, let's find one final question. One question to end them all. Oh, yeah, but okay, this is a good question. I like this one. Ultra Pig Roach Combo asked, it's rumored they are adding a section to the park for the Universal Monsters. Well, yeah, I did hear that rumor. They're not actually adding a section to the existing Universal parks. They're actually adding a whole new theme park called Epic Universe, I believe. And it will have like a Universal horror section. Apparently it'll have like a Dracula's Castle section. So I'm definitely looking forward to that if it's true. It'll be awesome to visit like a fucking Universal Horrors. Like, if they do that, I will visit Universal Studios all the time, or Universal Orlando Resort all the time, if they do a really good fucking Universal Monsters section. I would love that. I hope they do that. God, I hope so. I hope it's not just like, just just them kind of just lying, like just somebody just getting my hopes up for something cool, because I want to see them pay respects to their classic monsters. I feel like they don't really do a good job of it. Like a lot of their current Universal monster stuff in the parks is kind of tacky. Like they have like the makeup show, but I feel like it's really tacky, and there's not a whole lot of emphasis on actual practical effects and the actual, like, it's very streamlined. They don't go into the history that much, and they don't really do a good job, demonstrating how to do effects. Like, I feel like they could do a much better job with their Universal Monster representation in the parks. And thank you for the super chat donation, Darklight. And to wrap things up, I will be going into my shout-outs for my shout-out tier supporters on Patreon and my YouTube channel memberships. Give a follow and listen to the Podmortem Podcast, a family-based horror podcast that is made by a family, I believe a brother and a sister, and the sister's husband, and it just feels really, this feels like just like you have your own set of friends just talking about your favorite horror movies. This week's episode is Dawn of the Dead, the original film, so definitely give them a follow and listen to their latest episode and support them. I really would appreciate it. Also give a follow to the Steamlord. Follow them on Steamlord at youtube.com. Okay, that's not actually there. But find them at the Steamlord. They make YouTube poops of Treehouse of Horror episodes. I did a brief cameo appearance in one of their episodes. They also post a lot of great vintage Goosebumps material. They just have like a lot of great, sort of variety of YouTube poop stuff, but also just nice vintage material that's always great to just get a little bit of a nostalgia-gasm from. So give them a subscribe. Link in the description, of course. Also subscribe to Fits on the Fritz. They are a horror YouTube channel that is focused on comedic skits involving Michael Myers primarily. I will actually be appearing in one of their videos that involves the Blair Witch Project. I will be doing some faux interviews for that future video, so definitely subscribe to them in the future. I would appreciate that as well. Also subscribe to the Sick Squad. They are a horror review and news channel. They recently, I believe, reviewed, what was their most recent review? Oh, man. Oh, okay. I think they recently reviewed Scream, though I could be mistaken. I need to definitely catch up on their channel, but I love the fact that I have so many great horror YouTubers following me and supporting me. So definitely subscribe to the Sick Squad. Man, I could have sworn they reviewed Scream recently, but I could be mistaken. I don't think I updated this screenshot in a while, so I need to refresh my memory. I need to update some of these screenshots. Also, follow and listen to I always think of Carnosaurus, but it's Carnotaurus on Bandcamp. Link in the description. They are a heavy metal band. They have a recent release, Turonian Terror. So definitely listen to their recent release. I'd appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. Also, I have a message from Rooster Montgomery. Rooster recently moved to Elm Street, where he doesn't have to hear the sounds of those little bastards across the fence because he hired Fred Krueger to, deal with them. Remember, every town has an Elm Street. Well, I guess you have a really great neighbor, Rooster. I guess if they can, take care of those noisy kids, I guess there's that. Also, just a special thanks to Sean O'Brien for all of his support, a longtime supporter. I appreciate it. And here's just all my Super Chat, my Patreon shout-out tier supporters. I appreciate all of their support. It means the world to me. It helps my dark influence continue to grow and spread. So I appreciate all their support, especially during my hiatus making videos. Well, I'm making videos. I'm just choosing not to release them until they're ready. So I appreciate their patience and support during this time. Thank you all. Also, I will be having a movie night stream on, where is that? I will be having a movie night stream of Scream 3 this Saturday, February the 5th. So join up if you feel like it. You'll also get access to the previous Scream streams I've been doing the past couple of weeks. I have a bonus stream every Saturday night. So if you feel like supporting the channel, you get a bonus stream. Like and subscribe. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you love it and want some more streams. And also make sure to click the bell button so you get some notifications whenever I stream. Also keep in touch with me at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dr. Wolfula. And finally, support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Dr. Wolfula if you want to support the channel and see some more videos, which will be coming soon. Thank you all for joining me. I've been Dr. Wolfula signing out. See you all next time. Oh, wait. Well, did I get some bonus? Okay, well, I got a super chat from Rick W. just saying goodnight. I appreciate that, Rick W. Good night. A good note to end on. Thank you for the support, everybody, and thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed this live stream. Why don't you watch another thing while I have your attention?